Boom, boom, boom. Hello, legends. How are we doing? I hope this finds you phenomenal on another day in a paradise that we're creating. Take a look at this. Looks just like an advert for a film, doesn't it? Or part of a film. What would you say if I was to tell you that within that picture alone, there lies a code? And that code relates to not very nice stuff with the small people, if I could say that. This is going to blow you away. Let's get into it. Hello friends, how we doing? I hope you're having the best week ever. Genuinely hope you woke up in paradise today. If you didn't, then we're gonna sort you out. Well, probably the topic of today's live stream isn't gonna sort you out. But hopefully I can cheer you up a bit, because you're born a legend. You will transform back to the divine energy as a legend. And it's really important that we remind you that you're a legend in that bit in between, because there's a lot of nonsense out there, isn't there? We're gonna be looking at some. Look, this is this new film, Disclosure Day, and it's made by a chap called Steven Spielberg. Whoop whoop! Alarm bells! Alarm bells! Isaac Cappy. Da, da, da. And I'm not here to have a go at anyone, folks. As I always say, when you're making people aware of this stuff, and a lot of it's not very nice, you've got to use real world examples. I'm not trying to start a hate campaign. I'm just saying that yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, isn't there? There's all the war, there's the Israel, the constant gaslighting from Israel. There's the whole Venezuela thing. There's the absolute huge propaganda, because the whole medical narrative's failing, because people are starting to realize your well-being is nothing to do with other people. Other people cannot affect your well-being. Unless they kick you in the face. Talking of kicking in the face, I got my green belt in kickboxing last night. Woo! Sorry, humble brag. But yeah, people are starting to realize, no, it's the overabundance of carbohydrate in our diet, the acid that glucose produces is screwing our cells up, and we have to detox that every year, usually in the winter. And they're also realizing that if you go to psychopathic trillionaire companies for your well-being, and they're going to give you a nice little, procedure, they're fucking mental. And they hate you. They actually hate you so much. They have names for how much they hate you. They call you cattle, animals. That's where you rate. So I say that just before you go defending them, and before you say, "Oh, but what about they cleared up so and so?" And there is no such thing, like I say, as other people affecting your well-being. And once you see it, you are emancipated from mental slavery. So a lot going on, folks, a lot going on. Ignore their propaganda, please. Now, this film here is called Disclosure Day, and immediately that I saw it pop up and I saw the director, I thought, if I was to say the word PDF file, you might know what I'm getting at. I'm accusing no person in particular. I'm just saying when you connect the dots with this, you look at this and immediately you see symbolism. Here, the haunting, this is called buck symbolism, what we call a stag in England. The Americans, they call it a buck. Remember the film Uncle Buck, where uncle came in to look after the children? All of this stuff, right, passes. It goes under the radar, folks, and it did with me for most of my 50 years until I came across an incredible website that explained that what we're seeing is something called the octo code. And it's how the PDFs communicate to each other through Hollywood. Remember, Isaac Cappy warned us of it, didn't he? And what was that chap, the chap from Stand By Me? He was doing the rounds a few years ago, screaming all this, wasn't he? Could someone put it in the chat? And you'll notice here, look at the symbols on the wall. The butterfly, symbolic of programming. There's probably a whole lot here that's going under my radar, but just some things that I picked out that immediately struck me. What did I just say? What's the code called? It's called the octo code. So look in this little girl's bedroom, amongst the butterflies, which we know as symbolism. Look at the number on its side on the wall. I know this might seem a stretch at the moment, folks. I assure you, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not mad. I just go on basic, obvious facts. And after today's show, I think you like me will not be able to dispute it. There is something about this Michelangelo-like scene as well, but maybe you're cleverer than me. Can you see the colour of the mobile above the girl's head? Red and white, highly symbolic. And also we've got the stag, the buck, entering the bedroom. I don't want to say, there's it. Now, you see what I'm getting at? And at the end here, yeah, all kind of weird stuff going on. Right, that all might seem a bit random, friends, and I totally get that. But let me go through how I found out about all this stuff. Can we like and subscribe, friends? That'd be awesome. Just chuck us a like, subscribe, and let me know below in the comments. Have you ever heard of octocode before? So it's no secret the FBI brought out a dossier quite a while back, and they highlighted all the symbols that meant whether you had that the PDF files used to symbolize whether their predilection is, for example, what has come to be known as hot dogs or pizza. Meaning, we're talking like genders here and ages and this kind of stuff. So this is nothing new. If you look at the beginning of the new Elvis film, you'll see that little concentric triangle symbol. That, if I say a little masculine, that's what that one symbolizes. But it wasn't until I was doing some research. I don't know how I came across the octocode. But when I did, it took me a while to get it because a lot of it's kind of Americanized because it's from the movie, from Hollywood. And then the website got taken down. It was just no longer there. And now I've found that the chap that does that website, he's this guy here. He's actually using the octocode symbolism, yellow and red, in his avatar here, and he's highlighting all these symbols like one eye symbolism, so cult of Saturn symbolism, so much stuff. So before I lose you, oh, there we go. Yeah, please like and subscribe. I made a little list. Just get this out of the way. Have a look at this. I just made a quick list. I know it's a bit small. View, zoom in, view. This, don't worry if you can't see it, folks, but basically red triangles is part of the code. Octagons is a massive part of the code. And this goes back in history, friends. This goes back thousands of years. This is not like a new thing. You'll see the octagon symbolism in a lot of ancient built buildings, particularly sort of like religious ones and this kind of thing. The stag or the buck symbolism. Any numbers that add up to 8, hence the octocode. So when you see like a number in a movie, a 3 here and a 5 over there, the colors red and white are huge. The colors red and yellow are huge. A ring is symbolic. The number 8, obviously. A red hoodie or a coat. Think of like E.T., that kind of thing. Think of Schindler's List. A red bull or a red nose, as in like a clown's nose. Hands behind the head. Let's just say when you see, you know, a youngster doing that in a film, there's more to it than meets the eye. 2 squares with a line through, or squares with lines through them. The top hat, for some reason, if you think here like Willy Wonka, the child catcher. Inversion has long been a occult symbolism. The occult love to invert things, but they like to invert the smalls as well in the films. Many of you were familiar with Star Wars will see Yoda scenes where the protagonist is like placed upside down in the scene. Doing stuff to the face, anything sort of, you know, symbolic that when you look twice at it, it looks like quite inappropriate. You'll find a lot of that. The letter H, because in numerology it's 8. The letter R, because in numerology it's 19. It's the number 19 of the alphabet, so it's 1 and. Is it 1 and? Sorry, I've got that wrong. It's 17. Could someone work out what the 17th letter of the alphabet is? Because obviously 7 and 1 is 8. I'm just looking at the chat here. What was the chap that came out from Stand By Me and he exposed? He said this was absolutely rife in Hollywood. And of course Z there, because Z is the 26, and that's number 8 too. So I'm just gonna go through a collection of images I pulled up just to explain it. I'm talking fast, folks, because I've got to go out and throw some axes. Yes, you heard it here first. So first of all, for Disclosure Day, look at the symbolism. Remember I said they love to invert, especially the smalls, and they love the one eye symbolism. Place all of that on a black cube, and I think this is like a whole, you know, this clearly relates to the cult of Saturn, the black cube of Saturn, and the release date of the film is 6/12/26. So what would that be in numerology? 12 would be 3, add 6 would be 9, add 26, 9, 10, 11, add the 6, 17, add the 1 and the 7, and it comes to, yes, the number 8. Moving on. This red and white, I know it just seems completely like whatever, but I've got this theory, folks. I think a lot of people that think that they've been abducted, and please let me know your thoughts on it. I'm not saying this is definite. I'm by no means a UAP or a UFO or a, NHI, is it non-human? I'm by no means an expert. My friend, Dr. Mike Sullivan, who was in the bed next to me, not literally. Well, sometimes when I used to get scared in Royal Marines training, Big Mike would come over and put his arm around me and say, "Hey, son, see the ball game last night?" No, Dr. Mike has written this wonderful book. So he's going to come on the show. He's supposed to come on a while back, but we had to delay for various reasons. And the first thing I think I said to Mike was, is this not to do with people that have, it's people that have been abused and they're trying to relive in their mind this horrific incident that's been done to them in the nighttime in their bed. And somehow this is manifesting as an alien abduction with the, I don't want to say it, but you know what the joke about alien abduction, always is. Q, of course it is. Oh dear, that doesn't work out very well, does it? Corey Fieldman, thank you, Darren. You absolute legend. Look, and anyone else that said it. Yes, Corey Fieldman, he came out, didn't he, and said quite a lot of stuff. So this is why I'm just drawing attention to this. I wonder if what we're missing something here, that under Hollywood and deep state kind of symbolism is the whole UFO thing. It could be like a synonym for abuse, basically, in the same way pizza and that kind of thing's been used. But there you see, do you remember we said the red and white symbolism? There we have it again, red and white symbolism and the H on the hat. Red and white symbolism in the day of disclosure. It's usually in creepy images that when you do a double take, they seem really inappropriate, just like this image. And this is nothing to do with the actors or anything, folks. We're talking about the symbolism here. The red and white in the tassel and the red and white design of the logo. Here's the red. It's red and white and red and yellow, and it's the red jacket. So here's a little boy with the red jacket, and there's the actor. Folks, this is nothing to do with Robin Williams. I've got no idea, but that's not what I'm suggesting here. The dog symbolism, boys and dogs, is also code. And there's your red jacket again. This symbol you can see quite a lot. Buck, quite symbolic. So actually the Baphomet symbol there that this octo chap hasn't highlighted. More buck symbolism. Also inappropriateness in scenes, folks. You see the two little ones here, and you can see that there's something sticking out. Remember, this is symbolic. So it might seem like crazy to you and me, but when you think of the symbolism behind it, also the old black eye symbolism, the one eye symbolism. The number 8. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang seems packed full of it. There's the red and the yellow symbolism. And chit chit is a word for a small child. And bang, I don't need to explain that, do I? Here we got the letter H and the red jacket in one scene. There we've got the symbolism of the nose, and then if you look at the colours of the flowers and the colours of the lollipops and the top hat. The bit like the Willy Wonka, isn't it? Oh, well, there we go. There we've got the Willy Wonka, we've got the top hat, we've got the one-eye symbolism, we've got the boy symbolism there with the in the writing. Not accusing Johnny of anything here, folks. That's, remember what I'm saying. We're talking about this, the symbolism, and the red and white in the sweets. Dead Poet Society. There's the colours again. The Disclosure Day, as I mentioned. I don't know what reference, if a bird has any, but it's the one-eye symbolism and it's the inversion. We'll come back and look at it again in a bit. There's the more symbolism here on an ancient building. It's this one here, folks. It's these. They look like diamonds with a line through. Who remembers? Was it Friday the 13th? They rock up in a red and white car, and there's a red and white octogram on the post. Harry Potter with the octogram in the scene. This is from David, one of David Icke's talks. I think he's mentioning just how they love the, you know, if I say the little ones in to decorate the religious places with. There's another poster for Disclosure Day with a buck symbolism and the one eye. There's Isaac Cappy, rest in peace. So there's a film he was in, and there's the symbolism he's wearing in the scene, number 8. Obviously, Isaac woke up to all this, didn't he? And then the last we ever knew of him, he was, let's just say, flying off a motorway bridge, or a freeway, as they call them in America. There's more symbolism, not just this symbol, but if you can see, it's all made up of 8s, or certainly zeros, 2 zeros together. More from the same film, Back to the Future. The third eye in red and white behind them, with the eye symbolism, and the third eye in numerology equates to the number 8. They wanted the car to get to 88 miles an hour. And remember, to you and me, this was just a great film, folks. To this lot, this is this guy with this little guy. Do you see what I'm getting at? Same again. I think this was the film, I can't remember the name of it, with Tom Cruise. Minority Report, was it not? Was it not? You see, you've got the elderly chap. I don't need to say who else is in this picture. And then you've got the octagon in red and white, or thereabouts. Anderton is the chap's name, reduces to 8 in numerology. They love the terrified infants, folks. Think like Jurassic Park and that kind of thing. And this guy, he's got the buck symbolism on his front. Remember, boy and a dog, and look at the colour of the lettering. There's the symbol again, this time in red and white. I'll give that a miss. Now, this was Norman Rockwell was the name of this artist, and this is an artist who Spielberg is quite keen on, from what I understand, and he's included his art in his films. And you can see he's got the double 8s hanging down there in the guise of oil gaskets, and the red and white flag, and the potential inappropriateness of the scene, can we say. I've got to speed up now. There's your Children in Need Day, one-eyed symbolism. was it Monsters was on Netflix, about the two lads that murdered the parents and they accused the dad of you know what. There's the octagonal symbolism. There we got the black cube and the red circle and the red and white symbolism. In this one, look at the inappropriateness. Look at the way. Look at where the baseball bat is placed. Look at the number on the guy's shirt. Look at the colour, the red and white, and look at the the potential inappropriateness of the scene. That was it Rhodey Schneider was in an absolutely brilliant film, The Champ. You'll never look at that film again once you see the symbolism in it in the same way. This is all the Boy Scout movement. This is just, whoa. I think they've actually done a whole film on the inappropriateness of this. The octagon symbol. The eagle symbol is something as well, folks, but there's only so much time. I've spent like 3.5, 4 hours researching all this. The red and the white. Here you got a full Monty. This is Spider-Man. You've got the pizza symbolism on the hat. You've got the red dome they seem to love. You've got the octagon in the background, and you've got the red and white on the Italian flag. Color, the same color. Remember, to you and me watching that's a boy grabbing a sword. To this lot, it's something else, symbolized by the color that the chap's wearing, right? Oh no, I'm not going to do my Jimmy Savile. Now is not the time for it, is it? More symbolism in the feathers. Remember, it's always the potential inappropriateness of the scene. No more inappropriate than this one. Look at the colour, the red and white symbolism. Look at the red jacket. And look at the red nose. Remember Red Nose Day? Red nose or red triangles as noses is also another one. That film was supposed to be called The Dish. I haven't yet to work out if that's kind of relevant. But there you go, folks. You know, there's this guy. If you go on the David Icke forum... Go on the David Icke forum and type in symbolism in entertainment and you'll get all this guy's work because he's put it all here. And if I just go to... Look, this is the guy, look, with the octo symbol. I'd love to get him on the show. You can see the colour, the red and white. Nothing inappropriate about that, is it? See the child trauma, one eye symbolism, dog symbolism. That's a dog with a one eye. I mean, yes. I'm going to stop it there, folks, because it's well, I mean, it's supposed to be nothing wrong with it, isn't it, according to the Hollywood? So, there we go. All right, friends, right, I'm going to get out of here. I hope this hasn't affected you. If it has at all, remember, heal the past and move on. The past does not define you, and it doesn't define me. What defines us is that we embrace the divine energy of which we are. And be grateful that we've got this chance for this existence. We take action moving forwards. That's it, folks. That's what we've got to do. Massive thank you to everyone in the chat. I'm not going to come to the chat today, folks. Dun, dun, dun. I'll just do one to say thank you to all of you. That's brilliant. If you can like and subscribe, folks, we don't just do this subject if you're new for the channel. It would drive us all a bit round the bend, wouldn't it? But if you can like and subscribe, that would be awesome. And thanks to everybody who has... I can't find the tab. Where are we? Everyone that's chipped in a £5 for my upcoming Mount Everest expedition. I shall be summiting Mount Everest to shine a light for my fellow struggling veterans during what has become a suicide epidemic, and I'll be drawing attention to the link between childhood trauma and PTSD in adults, and this is why I believe we're losing a lot of veterans. If you can help me on my mission, folks, that'd be awesome. There's a link below in the comment section, or there's a link below this video. And as always, massive thank you to everyone that supports me on YouTube by becoming a member. It's only £1.99 a month, or Patreon, or Locals, our free speech platform, or Who's Bought Me a Coffee. You absolute legends. I'm out of here, and yeah, go steady. Much love.